changing the world one plate at a time. Welcome to our next chapter of Open Book Black Excellence. I'm Sarah Vetter from the Gail Borden Public Library, and it's my great pleasure to introduce Monique Howery, who is the chef and proprietor of Moni's Soulfood Fiesta in downtown Elgin. Monique, welcome today. We're so happy to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much, Sarah. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So I want to give a little bit of background. Monique is a self-taught chef, merging all the flavors of her soulful Black ancestry with Jamaican, Southern, and Mexican cuisines. So you have some unique flavors going on there, Monique. Your creative menu reflects your pioneering, risk-taking, and soulful personality. Monique, real quick, what led you to opening your own restaurant?
It truly has always been on the inside of me from the time I was a child. I started out doing dinners out of an igloo cooler as a side hustle to make ends meet. And each job I've ever had in my life, Sarah, I've always kind of told myself, I'm not going to be here for long. I'm going to have a restaurant. Not going to be here for long because I'm going to open a restaurant. Not going to be here because I'm going to open a restaurant.
What must be done, Moni, to encourage excellence in ourselves and others?
Excellence for me is going over and beyond your call of duty, no matter what the situation, no matter what it is. I can give the example of giving a cup of coffee. If you were to ask for a cup of coffee, I'm automatically not just going to bring you one package of sugar, but I'm going to bring you a couple packages of sugars. I'm going to bring you some extra creamers. I'm going to bring some extra silverware, some napkins. I'm going to go over and beyond my call of duty to ensure that you have your needs met and abundantly met. Yes.
Fabulous. What must be done, Moni, to encourage excellence in ourselves and others?
Okay, so it starts from within. You have to encourage yourself first to be able to encourage others. It never stops. So daily, I actually do encourage myself. I get up and I quote scriptures over myself. And in doing so, it actually helps me to encourage and motivate other people. I can give the example of you have a beautiful smile, Sarah. It encourages me. So in doing so, my prayer is sincerely that not only that it encourages you, that it leaves you with something for the rest of the day for you to encourage somebody else.
By the way, you have a pretty great smile yourself.
Thank you.
So what can we all do to promote excellence?
To go over and beyond, not just for ourselves, but for others as well too, to continually give a word of encouragement to yourself, continue to give a word of encouragement to your neighbor, just always having that hand open, ready to reach out to help somebody else. That's how excellence is actually established within yourself, others, and within the community.
That's beautiful. Thank you. And anything else you'd like to add? And what's next for you, Monique?
What's next? So for me, what sincerely would be next is actually opening up another location here in Elgin in the near future. Yes, and with each location, I sincerely do love to give back to the community. So that's how I change the world with one plate at a time. Within the restaurant, we actually give back to those who are less fortunate. We want to make sure not just the people who are paying, but those who can't actually afford a meal, that they can come in and get a nice hot meal daily.
What a wonderful way to keep giving to the community. And I hope you attain that next step of opening another location. And I know it's been a crazy time right now. So all the very best to you. And we're so happy to have met you and learned a little about you today. And my last question, Moni, is what should people who've never been to your establishment order first?
It's always going to be the same response when you come into Moni's. please come out of your comfort zone. When you come, please do not order French fries. I'm gonna tell you, you can have that any place else. It's a French fry. But when you come to Moni's, think on the outside of the box, because when I created each individual recipe, I did it thinking on the outside of the box. So I want you to come in and think on the outside. And if you like spicy, start with the spicy menu. If you don't, start with the regular menu, but try something new.
Perfect way to end. And I will be there soon. And I want to try one of each on your menu.
Awesome.
Well, Moni, thanks again. And we so appreciate your being part of our Open Book Black Excellence series.
Thank you.
Take good care.
You too. Bye-bye.
I'm Sarah Vetter of the Gale Borden Public Library, and today it's my great pleasure to introduce Chris Sumner, owner of Mama Lee's Popcorn in Elgin. Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
So let's start with you providing a little bit of background on yourself and tell us how you came to open some popcorn shops.
Okay. I was born in Chicago. My mother moved from Chicago to Elgin when I was about 6 years old. So I've been here all of my life, basically, all of my childhood life. So I've been here, of course, went to schools in the U46 district. Have a lot of family, have a lot of friends in the area. So when it comes to the popcorn shop, my mom, she used to make gourmet popcorn or make caramel corn at home growing up, which was really cool. And I'm the entrepreneur in the family. So I remember once I was encouraging my mother to tell her, hey, you should open up a popcorn shop. People really, like your popcorn. And she's like, nah, I don't think I really want to do it. I'm like, hey, well, show me how to make it. I'll do it. I'll show you that it works. And I did it. She showed me how to make the caramel corn, and then I began to experiment with different flavors and put my own recipes together. And before you know it, it was like, hey, I think it's time to open up. I mean, Elgin didn't have a popcorn shop, and when I go to other cities, you see popcorn shop. It's kind of nostalgic, right? So I thought that, man, it's perfect for Elgin. It'll be a great spot. And since then, we opened up numerous spots and closed some and opened some and learned the business on how to maximize and grow to the fullest potential. So it's been pretty cool to kind of just take something small and as a kernel, right? If you think about a popcorn kernel, it was all a dream. And to just see what it popped into, which was popcorn, and just kind of seeing even myself how I kind of evolved, to where like being in the community and just having people say, hey, that's the popcorn guy or Mama Lee's, so it's really cool to just be a part of the community and have that excitement and bring that joy to people. So yeah, that's how it started.
That is awesome. It truly was a family affair then, learning from your mother. She wasn't up for starting the shop, and then you took it and made it what it is today. And how many locations do you have currently, and where are they?
So we have the Elgin location, which will be moving into the rec center. We have the Spring Hill Mall location, and then we have a kiosk inside of Allstate Arena.
That's great. So you've really come a long way from your beginnings. The first question that I have for you today, Chris, is what does excellence mean to you personally?
Okay. So, when it comes to excellence, I think it's having a goal, it's having a vision, and then it's knowing where you're going. Excellence to me also breaks down. It's never stopping. It's pushing through the pains. It's staying up late. It's working while everyone else is sleeping. You have to kind of grind it out. So when it comes to excellence, it's really just pushing yourself. It's knowing your limits and then just to continue to push them. That's one thing that I always look at when it comes to excellence is if I know how far can I go, or I think I can go, how can I push myself a little bit further? And sometimes you'll shock yourself.
Good stuff. What must be done, Chris, to encourage excellence, not only in ourselves, but in others as well?
When it comes to encouraging excellence, I think it's more of nurturing yourself or nurturing an individual, right? That's making them feel valued and worthwhile, right? So if you want to nurture anybody or nurture anything, you have to kind of pour into whatever it is that you want to nurture. So I think that it's important. Um, I think that we have to show genuine care, right? It's one thing to pour into something, but you have to care about an individual or something, and it has to be genuine because people can feel that. It's kind of like calling somebody by their name, right? That's probably one of the most sweetest words a person can ever hear is the name, like, and it's evident, you can see that within animals. If you have your animal, how they respond, it's, my name is Chris. So if you call me Chris, I'm like, whoa, that's a name that, you used to, you're Sarah. So it's just calling somebody by their name can go a long way and just kind of shine light upon them. So I think that's how to do it. You got to kind of nurture the individual when it comes to encouraging people for excellence.
And finally, Chris, what can we all do to promote excellence?
To promote excellence. So it's a couple things that you can do. I think you have to lead by example. You have to set an example. That's number one, right? You have to be able to set the tone and be the best version of you. And then also communicate, right? So give constructive criticism, or, be clear on what you're trying to do to promote. And then it's follow up and give feedback, right? So if you're promoting something, right, you want to be able to let people know, hey, if they're meeting the mark or what the target is, and be able to communicate that and give constructive criticism. So that way people can know what they're aiming for.
Love that. That is so true. What is the top selling popcorn that you guys currently have?
Oh, of course, by us being in Chicago, right? I've been to other states too, and been asked this question. And I think everybody that visits Chicago, it's the Chicago mix, which is the cheese and caramel. So by far, I think people always kind of lean towards the cheese and caramel. Now, if we break this down to Elgin, right, I would have to say the Elgin mix, hands down, is probably one of the top sellers. And that's the white cheddar garlic and caramel. And a lot of people hear the word garlic and they kind of frowned up until they try it. And then it's like, oh my God, I didn't think, or man, this is amazing. And it's like, yeah, don't let the word garlic catch off guard and have you intimidated to try something new, right? And sometimes I thought, I'm like, man, maybe I should just take the word garlic out because it's not a lot of garlic, inside of the popcorn. But that by far within Elgin is the top seller, is the Elgin mix, for sure.
You got the sweet, you got the savory, and I haven't tried that one. I do admittedly usually go for the Chicago mix, the caramel and cheese, because we've kind of grown up with that, right? From being in the city, like you mentioned. But I love that you made put a personal spin and created the Elgin mix.
Yes.
So I'm going to be in to try that one soon. And Chris, what is your own personal favorite flavor?
Oh, you can't ask me that. I always tell people you cannot ask me my personal favorite, right? And the reason being, because it's too many, right? So I'll break it down. I always tell people, I know you would think that it's a simple answer, but it's not, right? So from the savory side, I like cheddar bacon. I like salt and vinegar, and I like cheddar pretzel on the savory side. On the sweet side, right? Because now we have sweet. So peanut butter and jelly. I love peanut butter. So peanut butter and jelly is one of my favorites. Birthday cake is one of my favorites. And there's one more. Excuse me. The Jolly Rancher is one of my favorites. Wow.
So, and they're all your babies. So I'm sure, like every parent knows it's hard to have a favorite child because you created all these yourself.
Right, exactly. So it's so many. So it's like I just can't choose one. It's like it all depends on the mood, right? It's like, all right, if I'm in a savory mood, I'm gonna lean heavily on this side. If I'm in a sweet mood and I need to, quench my sweet tooth, I'm going to go on this side. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today for this edition of Open Book Black Excellence. We're so glad you're part of the community.
Well, thank you so much for having me once again. And my signature saying is I hope everybody that's watching, and I hope you, Sarah, have a fantastic day.